Okay guys, welcome back to my show. Today is about Remy Ma, and I'll be playing an audio to you on her, and in between doing that I will be doing just a brief pause to give a quick commentary on, what's happening. So, okay, I'll go ahead and roll that right for you right now, okay.
Remy Smith, also known as Remy, grows up in housing projects in Queens, New York, but often stays with her grandmother in the Bronx. Her life is unstable.
She had a tough childhood. She grew up around drugs. She's estranged from her stepfather.
While Remy is still a teenager, her mother often leaves her to care for her brothers and sisters. Then, when Remy is 13, her mom is incarcerated.
She was forced to be an adult and a parent, really, long before anybody should be.
She was homeless. She slept on the street. She's been in shelters.
When you grow up without solid parents in the home and you're constantly fighting and hard-edged, that just becomes a part of your personality.
Lonely and struggling to survive, Remy's only escape is writing poetry.
Remy wrote great poetry. That's what inspired her to turn the poetry into actual rap. They don't know how I feel. They always looking in my face acting like it ain't what it is.
An aspiring artist, she competes in local rap contests against other budding talent.
Everywhere we go, we rap like we getting back.
And in that tight Bronx community, the work that she's doing is starting to become known.
With dreams of stardom, Remy is finding her way in the music world. But at 18, she faces yet another challenge. Single and barely making ends meet, Remy finds herself pregnant.
Remy was a young mom, and part of her push and desire to be huge was so that she could take care of her family.
And she doesn't let motherhood stop her career. In fact, over the next few years, Remy's reputation grows as a quick-witted and cocky lyricist.
No, that's good. Now, at least, even though she was a young mum, she still tried to succeed with her music career. Still tried hard to push the music career forward. So that's a good thing as well.
Catching the attention of the well-known hip-hop group, the Terror Squad.
She became the first female member of the Terror Squad.
She's hit the big time. This little girl from the projects has made it.
The 23-year-old's drive is paying off. In 2005, she wins a BET award and is also nominated for a Grammy for Terror Squad's hit song, Lean Back. Remy is on top of the world. One night in December...
I had no idea she was even, that the Terror Squad, Lean Back, that was one of my favourite tunes back in the day. So yeah, that was interesting to learn that.
2006, 25-year-old Remy goes to a New York City nightclub with her friend Crystal. There she meets Makita Barnes-Joseph, who is out celebrating her 23rd birthday.
Crystal brings Remy to the party because she thinks that Remy and Makita might hit it off.
Makita immediately recognizes the Grammy-nominated rapper.
Of course she's excited. Remy Ma is right there at her party. This is someone she's listened to. She knows this rap star.
But the two women couldn't be more different. Makita also hails from the Bronx, but from the other side of the tracks Remy grew up in. She is from a stable home with loving parents.
Makita was the number one child in the family. She got a lot of what she wanted.
Makita is attractive, a very bubbly personality.
She's also hardworking and graduates from college with a degree in marketing.
Her family was very proud of her
really good.
that she had graduated.
Despite their differences, Remy and Makita start to hang out regularly.
As Makita and Remy are getting to know one another, they like the same kinds of music, they like the same kinds of clubs. Turns out, a few years ago, they both dated the same guy at different times. So they have a lot of things in common.
Small world, isn't it? Imagine that, meeting a new friend and then you become best friends and then realise that at one point you was both dating the same guy. Obviously not at the same time, but it's a small world, isn't it?
But neither girl could predict their budding friendship would soon be split apart by violence. As time goes by, Remy becomes more comfortable with Makita. With her, she doesn't have to be Remy the big star.
They talked about anything, everything. They liked each other. They were beginning to bond.
They go to barbecues, they go shopping, they go get a mani-pedi. They're doing regular girl things, and Remy likes that.
Remy always came off as being hard and coarse and rough, but there was a soft side of Remy as well that cared about people, that wanted to be loved and wanted to be feminine.
Makita marvels over Remy's bold exterior and likes that it's completely different from her own girl-next-door persona.
Sometimes the opposites in friendships attract.
Remy's rap star life is filled with glitz and glamour, and she often includes Makita and Crystal, the girl who introduced them, when attending industry events.
They like the excitement, the rap game, the bottle popping.
It's good.
Makita and her friends like having Remy around because, you know, it's kind of a brush with greatness. You know, here they are, this girl is a star on one level, but she's their friend on the other.
And that must have been very exciting for them as well, having a star as a friend. They're just regular girls and their friend's some big star, and, you know, they're the best of friends with her. So that must have been very exciting for them. For definite.
And for Remy, Makita and the girls are a refreshing break from the crowd as she navigates her way through a harsh industry.
Remy always had to prove herself. There was always someone trying to knock her down, always someone trying to challenge her.
She was a female in a rap industry that was dominated basically by men. And with that said, it was important to have a very tough persona. Remy needed people around her that she can go out with, party with, and relax with.
Not too long ago, she was the unwed teen mom. Inside, she's got to be just exploding with the fear and insecurity that comes with that kind of rapid success. But on the outside, you know, she's the queen. She's Remy Ma, and she enjoys this walk down the red carpet.
But it seems the
So she's come a very long way from being a single mum to being a rapper and doing really well in her career. So she's obviously really happy and proud of herself.
The line that once divided Remy's
It's a good
public
thing.
and private personas is blurring. Makita notices Remy's need to be the center of attention, and after a while, the drama is constant, even when it's just her and the girls.
Remy's personality was big, to say the least.
So big, it starts to grate on Makita's nerves.
Remy, she had a chip on her shoulder. So sometimes she would turn people off.
But no one could have imagined that sharing the spotlight would lead to an explosive confrontation.
It's hard to imagine how somebody's anger could turn into such a betrayal.
It was just a bad sequence of events.
Remy and Makita are living it up on the New York City club scene and at music industry parties.
Makita and Remy hanging out. It was just party time.
But several months into their friendship, their group of friends are fed up with Remy's relentless need to be the center of attention. So the girls take a road trip to Las Vegas, but don't invite Remy.
They just kind of figured, you know, she's too busy for us. She's got a lot of things going on.
But Remy gets wind of their plans.
Plus, if they're getting fed up of hearing her continuously just talk about, you know, stardom and how famous she is and stuff, as much as they're happy for her, after a while just constantly hearing somebody going on about one thing in particular that they're doing, it can get a bit boring. And obviously at some point they felt like this is all she keeps talking about, you know, and they wanted a little break from her. And clearly Remy didn't want that, so when she found out they went on that girly trip, I'll just continue playing it now so you can hear it.
Remy finds out and basically crashes the party. In invites herself and flies to Vegas to join the girls. Once Remy gets there, it's really a great time for all the girls. They're hanging out by the pool, they're going clubbing, and it really helps cement the bond of this group of women, especially Makita and Remy.
But the good vibes wouldn't last very long. That night, while in a Vegas nightclub, Remy spots a rival rapper, Gloria Velez. She doesn't hesitate to confront her.
I heard you so earlier. You're just bumping your gums all over town.
There were words that were exchanged, arguments.
Wait. Slow down.
Remy knows she's got a captive audience, and suddenly
Oh my
punches her in
God.
the face.
You can't really cross her, or she will react in a different way.
Wow, she punched the girl in her face twice.
Makita is shocked at seeing this side of her friend, but it doesn't stop the party. They head home the next day. Back in New York, things are going better for Remy than ever. She has money, fame, and a new love interest. He is also an up-and-coming rapper named Papoose.
They were both at the top of their game. What was interesting about that relationship with her and Papoose is they were really good friends first. I just remember when she
I like him, he's a
decided
good
that
rapper.
she was interested in Papoose. They were texting each other back and forth, and she burst out into laughter. They were not like that showy couple. They never made it public, but what they had was real, and I think Remy and Papoose wanted to preserve that as much as they could.
One night, Remy confides in Makita that she really likes Papoose, but isn't sure she can trust him. Makita tells Remy it's all in her head.
Remy became angry at Makita.
She doesn't like her friend's reaction.
Remy is not happy, and there is a rift that develops between the women.
Just a few weeks later, the crack in the girls' bond deepens when they go out clubbing together. Papoose is at the same club. He is talking to another girl, and Remy is seeing red.
Makita checks out the scene and realizes that this woman is a friend of hers. When Makita tells Remy that this woman is no real threat, Remy gets upset. She's angry. Why are you defending that woman? This is a woman who's trying to take my man.
Again annoyed with Makita, Remy storms out of the bar.
Every minute getting upset with her friend for not siding with her as she feels. She feels she's not siding with her. I don't see how she's not siding with her anyway. She's just saying that she's not a threat to her, because obviously she's trying to let Remy Ma see that, she's attractive, she's everything that basically a man might want in some cases, but obviously Remy Ma doesn't want her friend to give that response. She wants her to say something else.
Leaving her friend behind. Makita is also angry. And soon, a betrayal will send their fractured friendship to its breaking point.
It just was a time bomb of what was going to happen.
She just couldn't believe that her own friend would do this to her.
By late spring 2007, Remy goes on tour for a few weeks. She returns and invites Makita and the girls to a pool party, hoping to smooth things over.
Remy used to throw a lot of pool parties at her house. Remy was always entertaining.
And in true rap star fashion, even when she is relaxing by the pool, Remy is dressed to the nines and decked out in jewels. But her bling is not blinding the fellas from Makita, who's wearing a skimpy bikini and commanding the room.
It seems Remy is sort of jealous of Makita, who has a more slender shape and can wear a little more revealing clothes.
The more Makita turns heads, the more Remy feels like she is being outshined.
Remy never kept her feelings a secret.
And she makes little snide comments about the clothing that Makita is wearing.
Sometimes her brashness and her outspokenness was insulting.
But Makita is getting sick and tired of Remy coming down on her.
She's meant to be her best friend, so she shouldn't be putting her down about her clothing and how she's dressed, Obviously, jealousy is kicking in, so she's trying to put her friend down, which is really bad. That's not right. She's meant to be her best friend, so shouldn't she be like complimenting her and making her feel good about herself the same way as Remy Ma's friends are doing for her, you know? But obviously the jealousy is kicking in, so.
On July 13, 2007, it's their mutual friend Crystal's birthday, and Remy and Makita are planning to celebrate.
They were really dressed up in a celebrating mode.
As Remy readies to walk out the door, she grabs a big wad of cash, $3,000.
$3,000 for Remy is $30 to the average girl.
When Remy arrives at the club, she's in full rap star mode, dressed to the nines, entourage in tow.
They were partying hard. They were dancing on the table.
There's a lot of alcohol. It's a great time. It's a big party.
After several hours, Remy asks Makita to hold her purse while she hits the dance floor.
Remy thought, this girl is a friend. You wouldn't leave your pocketbook with somebody that you don't trust.
While she's holding that purse, Makita feels the phone ring. So she opens it up, sees it's from somebody she doesn't know, and just puts the phone back in the purse.
A few minutes later, Remy grabs her purse from Makita, and the group parties until nearly 4 o'clock in the morning.
They were saying their goodbyes before they all dispersed and walked to their cars.
Just wanting to quickly say, even if you've got your best friend's bag, even if her phone rings, no one should be going in anyone's bag to see who's ringing their phone, because even if you feel it might be somebody that you know, if it's not your phone, then you don't need to go in your friend's bag to, you know, to be seeing who's calling and seeing if it's someone that you know. Just don't go in her bag at all unless she's actually there and she's telling you to go in her bag. That will just solve problems, innit? Because I can't understand why anyone's going in anyone else's bag to see who's answering their phone, to see who's ringing their phone, sorry. Doesn't make sense to check who, see if it's someone you know that's ringing your friend's phone.
But as Remy grabs her car keys, she realizes her cash is missing.
She immediately thinks Makita took her money.
Remy just saw red. Here she is with the friend that she trusted, that she let come into her home and entrusted with her purse. She felt violated.
As feelings of deceit begin to boil over, Remy and Makita are headed for a face-off that will change their lives forever.
It was a rage that they had never seen before and was almost like she was possessed.
Once she felt betrayed, there was no going back.
After a night of partying with her friends, Remy discovers she is missing $3,000. She's convinced her good friend Makita stole it and tells their friend Crystal.
Makita took the money out of my purse.
Crystal is explaining, I don't believe Makita had to take any money from you, and that only made Remy angrier.
At that moment, Remy felt like she was the victim. She felt like she had been used, lied to, played out, disrespected.
Remy intends to confront Makita outside amid several onlookers.
Remy drives her vehicle right up next to Makita, who is still parked at the curb.
I'm not playing with you.
She hops out of the car.
And Remy is armed with a gun.
Makita, I'm not playing. Remy, what are you talking about?
What?
Remy begins to make a huge scene on the street, yelling obscenities at her friend.
Where's my money?
She's making a big show of having this gun, waving it around.
I don't have any money of yours. What are you talking about? Sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking clearly.
She started walking towards Makita's car, cocked the gun, and said, "Don't play with me."
That is crazy.
Makita knows her friend carries a gun for protection, but can't believe Remy is pointing it at her.
Remy, you need to relax.
Makita believed that maybe Remy was just going a little bit off the top and doing a little bit of the grandstanding.
Where's my money, Makita?
But that quickly changes as Remy flings open Makita's car door, leans in, and orders her friend to dump her purse.
Makita was looking in Remy's eyes, and Remy looked like that she was possessed. Remy looked half crazy.
She's got to be wondering what the heck is going on here. I mean, has this girl lost it? Why is my friend pointing a gun at me? Remy reaches over and grabs Makita's bag, thinking, my money is now in Makita's bag, and I'm going to take a look myself.
There was a struggle over the bag, and she kept asking Makita to dump her bag. Makita's position was, I didn't steal anything from you. You have no right to ask me to dump my bag.
That's right.
Now, Remy Smith had the gun by Makita's abdomen.
This had to be total confusion and hysteria for Makita. She had no idea what her friend was doing. Surely she wasn't going to shoot her.
And next thing you know, Makita's shot in her stomach.
Makita looked down and saw a blossoming red stain on her clothing and realized, I've been shot, but there's no way my friend just shot me.
Oh my gosh, she shot her twice in the stomach over the money. What she couldn't even prove that the friend had taken. Let me just go ahead now and just continue this.
But reality sets in quickly.
Makita said, you shot me. And as the blood was spilling through her white dress, Remy took Makita's bag and started searching in her bag and kept looking in her bag.
Remy dumps the purse out, scatters the contents, and can't find the money. But she still doesn't help her friend.
Onlookers are astounded as Remy rifles through Makita's belongings. Makita, afraid she is dying, begs her friend for help. But instead of helping her friend, Remy orders Makita to get out of the car.
Makita was scrambling for her life and was able to open up the driver's side door so she could fall out.
As Makita struggles to get away, Remy takes off.
Remy
Oh my gosh, she never even helped her. Are you serious? That is shocking.
Ma drove away from the scene and left Makita for dead.
Remy drives a few blocks away from where she's just shot her friend and abandons her car.
Crazy, crazy,
Meanwhile,
crazy.
Makita is rushed to the hospital where she clings to life. In less than 24 hours after shooting her girlfriend, Remy Ma turns herself in to police, claiming it was an accident.
Remy's not a runner or a hider, so she felt that she could go to the police, turn herself in, tell her account of the story, and she would get justice.
Remy is
If it was an accident, then she should have called the ambulance and not run and left her friend for dead. You don't run off and leave your friend for dead. You don't know what's happened since you shot her. And if it's meant to be an accident, then you should have been calling 911, not running off in your car.
charged with a list of crimes, including 2 counts of first-degree assault. Meanwhile, Makita's family keeps vigil by her side.
The bullet exploded inside, gone through a wall in her stomach, through her spleen, and out of her back area. Makita was in intensive care for a while.
After nearly a month, Makita is released from the hospital, but suffers paralysis on her left side. And to add insult to injury, Remy has concocted a new defense and is now claiming Makita shot herself in hopes of a big payday.
Oh my God.
It's so ridiculous that Makita would shoot herself in order to get money. That is so ignorant, it makes no sense.
9 months later, on March 27, 2008, Remy is found guilty of intentional assault and is sentenced to 8 years.
Good.
From behind bars, she continues to proclaim her innocence on the radio.
I don't care if 12 million say guilty. I'm not telling y'all, all right, I'm wrong and I'm sorry for something that I didn't do. I don't gotta shoot no girls. I treat all my friends with nothing but respect and love. This time last year, they was all swimming in my pool. That was nothing but nice since day one.
Sick of the lies, Makita calls the same radio show to tell her side.
It was me and Remy in that car. I know who shot me. She knew what she did. She didn't care. Remy was my girl. That was my girl. Like, if you see her anywhere, like, I was with her. Remy never reached out to me. All I hear is Remy pleading her innocence on the radio. She's doing this, and they killed me.
I believe that Remy knew she made a mistake. But could have been the duality of Remy Ma, where on the one hand, she's saddened by what happened, but on the other hand, I'm this rapper and I have this persona as being a tough person, and when I tell you to give me the bag, that's what I mean.
Yo, Makita, I'm not playing with you. Where's my money?
People need to recognize their own value and what they're bringing to the table when they select friends to be in their inner circle.
And as Makita struggles to put her life back together, she still anguishes over the fact that her friend could turn on her so brutally.
Remy had this rapid rise from the projects to this superstardom. Ultimately, it was that need for attention that was her downfall. Makita just wanted to be a friend. That's it. She didn't sign up for more, and ultimately, her trust in that friendship got her hurt.
Makita, who think twice and very hard about what kinds of friends that are around her going forward, and never take that for granted, what a friend could do.
Crazy. So I just wanted to share that with you. Like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching.